I work out with a guy once a week. He's busy as fuck. I really go with him for my knee. It's instead of going to physical therapy, I go to this guy for my knee. His name is Tom. I have never met a guy more knowledgeable about him when it comes to fitness. I got to be honest with you, the first 4 times I went in there, I was like, this ain't gonna last. This ain't gonna last. He was assessing me and seeing where the problems were. And he came back to me with a note one day, and I was like, whoa. He's like, when you walk, you trip a lot. That's because your muscles aren't strong on the front of your leg. You're not picking your foot all the way up. Fucking amazing shit. He goes, this is what I need to. He goes, I know. But for you to live pain-free, which is what we're getting to, and be healthy, this is what the exercise is. There's days I go in there and do exercise. I don't even know what the fuck he's doing. I just know when I walk out, I look at my Whoop and I burn 350 calories, and I did like a 10 fucking, I'm up to a 10 fucking whatever with the Whoop. And to me, that's a great fucking day, and not even knowing what I'm doing. He makes you do these lunges that are completely different. The first 3 weeks or 4 weeks that I went there, halfway in, and it's only 40 minutes, halfway into the thing, like he's massaging your leg and he's stretching it and he's pulling on it and he's fucking, but then he makes you do exercises along with that. I didn't do that in physical therapy, and I went to 2 different physical therapy with the doctor fucking recommended. And then I come to realize that after all that shit I did with them 6-7 months in therapy, I didn't even have fucking leg strength. This guy, every time I go in there, the first 20 minutes, if I think my thighs are going to blow the fuck up. And guess how many weights we use? None. I could swing kettlebells in the basement after fucking 5 sets of 10. My thighs are fucking hurting. I'm sweating up a storm. With this guy, I don't even feel what the fuck he's doing. I'll tell you what, I go to jiu-jitsu. I'm breathing better. Like I told him once, I got to work on my cardio. What are we doing? He's like, Joey, I'm working you in level 2 cardio. And he started breaking into this shit about cardio. And I'm like, I should have never opened up this bag of worms. Then he started sending me podcasts, because they do all these tremendous health podcasts. And he started sending me podcasts of all this fucking, these people talking about level 2 and level 1, cardio, and how you switch it to 3 and 2. And that number, guys, don't quote me on this. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm just letting you know. Well, guess what? I go to jiu-jitsu now. When I used to go to jiu-jitsu, when I ran up the stairs, I'd get winded. I'd have to go in the bathroom and hide for 2 minutes and pee from the fucking thing. I could run up that motherfucker now and nothing happens. I could roll 2 5-minute, and listen, for you guys are like, oh, Joey, what the... Guys, that's all I got. I'm an old man. I do 4 or 5 5-minute rolls. You ain't seen me for fucking 10 days. I like what Tyson told Rogan. Rogan goes, I like that tape you made a couple of years ago of you hitting the mitts with the guy from Kings. And he goes, bro, that workout, it took me a week to get out of bed. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're fucking old. Those muscles, you haven't used them in a while. So it's pretty interesting what they're doing. The explosiveness, the conditioning. Explosiveness comes from strength. These guys aren't walking around looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're fucking thin as shit. They're skinny. They're fucking explosive. When they're around the rim, it's like, it's a shame. When I used to go to games in the 80s and 90s, the rim was something, I got to jump up there. Now, these guys just jump an inch and they're by the fucking rim, or at least it seemed like an inch. And they're up there, up in the fucking end. You're like, what? I saw Jason Tatum do some drives that the power, the explosiveness was just fucking outrageous. So I don't know if you're training this way. If you're not, I know for sure I ain't training that way. I do 3 of those explosive moves. You're done. You won't see me for a fucking week. Yeah, on the mat, you got to move quick and stuff sometimes. But I do 2 or 3 of those. And Uncle Joey's no bueno for a fucking a few days or so. I want to talk to you guys about something that I noticed last week that I need to explain to you guys. And I want to talk to you guys about the truth. During the pandemic, all these, if you go on Instagram and you say anything, like, hey, like even when I was making videos on Instagram, the city, I would say, look, nobody's got a mask on tonight. And when I looked at the video, it said misinformation, COVID misinformation, and that's all you hear about. and you don't even know whether you're coming or going half the fucking time. When I wake up in the morning, I don't, sometimes I'll play music. I play music in the car. But when I wake up in the morning, I don't want no drama, so I just put YouTube on. I just put YouTube on. There's an album I want to listen to. YouTube's got everything, okay? And it's quick. I don't have to come in here and clean the needle and look for the fucking album. I ain't got that type of patience at 8 in the fucking morning, 7 in the morning. So I just go to YouTube. But it's interesting. When I click onto the YouTube page, every morning, it's a fucking adventure. It's just an adventure. And it's some people talking about educational stuff, Rhonda Patrick, the other guy talking about testosterone, just a bunch of good stuff because I don't tag on to a bunch of shit. But then as I scroll down, looking for music or something like that, I'll see just videos of people talking about comics, and I'll just read the fucking fine print, and I'll go, these guys have no idea what they're talking about. And it's sad because then other people read these things and they think they got the know-it-all on these comics, whoever they may be, or actors or whatever. And, when you talk about a generic actor, I don't know much about him. When you say something about John Bernthal, and I'm watching it, I'm like, these people have no idea what they're talking about. That they really don't.
People think they're TMZ now.
Yeah, everybody's fucking TMZ, breaking late news. They take stuff and they twist it in these videos, and you sit there and go, like I said, I would watch those videos till about 9 months ago. And then one day I said, you know what? When I watch those videos, they really give me anxiety. They really do. Whatever the fuck they are, whether they're talking about the guy from the radio, whatever, I'm like, this ain't for me. And I found one about a month ago about 2 fucking white dudes I never even seen before talking about why the church broke up.
I haven't seen that one.
Dog, there's millions of videos out there.
I know. But there's a handful of ones that are bigger on YouTube.
This is 2 guys just talking. They had a podcast. I don't know what the name of the podcast was. And they were talking about pressure and we had to get out of town. And it was there's warrants out. And I'm like, and it was an old video. It had to be about 2 years after we moved. And Syatt is about to do an interview. And just, I was looking at this and I'm like, what the fuck? And the reasons why. And none of them, after 4 minutes, I turned the video. I go, none of these things were correct. They were just talking, and I don't even know who mentioned these things because I never even heard this shit before that they were talking about. And then last week, it was my birthday weekend, and Lee came, Mike came, and I go, Lee, let's do a podcast. And I did a podcast with Lee the way I did a million other podcasts with Lee.